Is Division 2 dead? No, it's definitely not dead. But Ubisoft has done a really bad job of keeping this game current in a live service environment. Maybe they finally got the hint. We just received title update 15 after a pretty lengthy hiatus on the Division 2. They have added new content. They have added new things to do, and it has brought back a lot of retired agents, such as myself, back into the Division 2 universe. If you haven't played the Division 2 yet, what's wrong with you? Go play it. For everybody else like me who went through all the content, the base game, the Black Tusk invasion built-in end game, the Warlords of New York DLC, come back and play a little bit, because I think you might get hooked again. I think you're going to realize and re-fall in love with everything that I know I did when I played the game the first time. And I am playing on PlayStation 5, so I get the nice bonus of a 60 frame per second experience. It looks beautiful. Of course, it's going to look better on PC. It does have ultra widescreen support, if that's your flavor. You're going to be able to find a way to play this game, and it's going to look great for you. It still has all the wonderful things that the original Division had. Obviously, they've added a lot more. This latest update, I think, is their attempt to kind of bring it back. I've heard before from others that maybe this year during their E3, well, there's no E3 anymore, but during their keynote, there's going to be an increased emphasis on the Division, largely due to the failure of Ghost Recon, because those two games are very parallel, even though they probably shouldn't be, but they kind of turned out that way. So I've heard that there may be more news coming. This is kind of the beginning of that. The new season, Season 9, includes content scheduled all the way from May through June through July. Has new global events, a new apparel event, the season pass, new things to do. And that is exactly what this game needs. Live service games require new stuff to do. Halo, take note. The big focus of this season, on top of the new badge you're going to fight, Captain Lewis, along with all of his lieutenants that will have to be hunted down and destroyed. And you're seeing me start a mission on that. Now, that's not very new, by the way. This type of game mode and event has existed for a while, where you have to do something in the game world, beat a level or do some sort of specific action in an area, capture a control point, collect resources, etc., to unlock intel. The intel will then be used to take out a lieutenant. The more lieutenants you kill, the closer you get to fighting the big bad. And of course, there's going to be tons of new guns and loot and level caps that you're going to be going after as well. So you're going to be able to flex the current equipment you have, of course, get new equipment, continue to load out your agents, and continue to have fun that way. And that's all great, because we want all that. The big new feature this particular season is called Expertise, which is done via the recalibration station. The guns already had this kind of proficiency rating before, but now you're going to be rewarded a little bit more by ranking up your gun. And this applies to armor, by the way. All you have to do is have this equipped while you gain experience. So the more you shoot with the current gun, the more experience you gain while wearing a particular set of armor. You're going to slowly begin to gain expertise. And once you have reached a certain point in this proficiency system, you can then begin to upgrade your armor for just a static passive bonus. The armor is pretty much this 1% armor rating, and guns are pretty much 1% damage rating. I did not check this out on the public test servers, so I'm not sure if it has changed, but the original advertised cap was 20% total on any piece of gear. But this is all individual pieces of gear, so that's 20% more armor rating on your chest, your knees, your gloves, but also 20% on your guns and your handguns. that is really where it gets exciting. You're going to be able to put out and technically receive way more damage than you were before. It continues to allow your agent to get stronger and stronger. And if you're somebody who has struggled or who has difficulty in doing some of the end game content, even if you want to try to do some of it solo, good luck. But if you're trying to get into a raiding guild, or you're trying to, beat through some of the end game content with your buddies, this may be the bonus you need. The parallel I draw here is playing the last expansion of World of Warcraft with your current gear and your current character. Beating the last raid boss with this current gear makes it easier to do. And let's face it, not everybody is going to blow through all of the endgame content and endgame raiding and PvP elements of the game very easily. I think, honestly, that's why a lot of this came out. Yes, of course, the true statistic hunters, the people who play this game incessantly and have not stopped, this is just further, this is just more for them to do. This is more ways to continue to level up, to feel that there is some sort of progression in taking part of your tasks that you are doing to make your agent stronger. But I also feel like this may be, and that's what leads, at least to me, some credibility to the rumors that I had been reading, that this may be a very division-heavy year. This definitely leads into that as well, particularly because now your character is going to be even stronger. It's going to make it much easier for you to get through some of the old stuff. There's really no excuse now to say, oh, well, Black Tusk was too difficult, or going off and doing some of the Warlord stuff on my own was too difficult. Now, with the new proficiency rating and the expertise system via the, what I just laid out for you guys, you're going to be a little beefier. I think you're going to be able to take out some of those challenges. And who doesn't like to see more numbers on the screen? Who doesn't like to burn down enemies even faster? So that's really cool. So I think that this may be, obviously it's an entry point back into it, but I feel like there may be more to come. And I really hope that's true, because the universe of The Division, with the ancillary characters, all of the factions that are put into place in this game, they all are a very great story and great universe. And it's kind of a shame to build up so much of that and just kind of let it drop off. The Division was kind of in a difficult place, I feel like. It didn't know what it wanted to be. Was it a single player or multiplayer experience that you played through the story and put the game down? I think a lot of us felt that way, particularly after beating it. Then they started the seasons and season passes and more DLC, and it's like, oh, okay, admittedly, this is now a live service game, and Ubisoft is treating it as such. Awesome. And now we've kind of reverted back to more of a one-and-done type of experience. So if this game does get new content and revitalization, and enough people play it, and enough people are building hype for it, which from what I've seen seems to be the case, then I absolutely see this being a good turning point for The Division 2, and maybe at some point a launching off point for The Division 3. Clearly Destiny, and Destiny 2 in particular, has figured out, with Bungie, has figured out how to keep a game going for a very long time with regular content drops and new things to do and new experiences to have for their players. I think The Division 2 can absolutely benefit from that model and continue on a live service path. So if you haven't had a chance to check it out, do yourself a favor, because know that if you just start a brand new character today, you've never played, and today's the day you're beginning, know that there are now 9 seasons of new content to dive through, with different things to do, with different targets to take out after the game is completed, with more upgrades that are waiting for you, that you can continue to level up your expertise well into the end game, where a lot of us didn't have that option before. Yeah, I think that's really, really cool. And I'll be curious to see in the coming months what Ubisoft has up their sleeve, knowing that Ghost Recon was, basically abandoned and failed, knowing that we don't really have a lot in the tactical shooter space right now in Ubisoft, And I think this may be a good place for them to recalibrate and refocus efforts and keep this franchise alive a little longer until they figure out their next move. I want to hear from you guys in the comments below. Let me know your thoughts on what's going on with the Division 2. And let me know if you think it's a viable game to play in 2022. I absolutely think it is. Thank you all so much for watching. Take care of yourselves. And until next time, I will see you guys on the other side.